Hey, welcome to Genius Thoughts. I'm Gene Bleeker, the eyes, ears, and voice of real estate, business, and the community. And I am here with my friend, Simone Figuereo. Thank you, Simone, for being on the program today.
Thank you, Jean, for having me. It's a
I
pleasure.
mean, listen, not only are you a celebrity, you are a leader in the community, and I appreciate you so very much for taking the time out of your busy day to be here with me today.
Thank you. Thank you. The
So,
Exclusive Academy has done much for me, and I appreciate it.
well, you know what? You have been nothing but a wonderful asset to this group as well. So I appreciate you just as much as you appreciate me. So before we begin asking you the tough real estate questions that I promise won't be tough at all, can you tell us about yourself and your wonderful family?
Sure, absolutely. I'm a native Los Angelina. I went to school in the city in Westchester, and I pretty much lived in Southern California the majority of my life. I've been married now for 27 years. We are empty
Yay.
nesters, which is really nice. Yes, we're fortunate. 27 years, and we enjoy each other and love each other more every day, and that's really a blessing in life. We
Without
have
a doubt.
one. Yes, we have one son and he's moved out of state and adulting on his own. He's doing a wonderful job. We're so proud of him. I think one of the great things about having adult children is that we get to see all that we've poured into them coming back in a positive way. I mean, there's some negative things too, but really sometimes I think we wonder as parents, oh, did they hear this? Do they understand this? Do that? And then when we see the fruits of our labor, it's just absolutely wonderful and very rewarding.
So your boy's name?
His name is Nicolas, but we call him Nico.
I love that. And
Yeah.
how old is this youngster?
And he just turned 23 last week.
Oh, bravo, bravo.
Yeah.
And so where's he living now?
He lives in Miami, Florida. He
Wow, good
loves
for
it there.
him.
Yes, he's become quite the Floridian.
So what made the move for him going to Miami?
Well, I think a large part of it was a little cultural. My husband is originally from the Dominican Republic, and
Okay.
many of his family members have relocated from the island to Florida because it's so similar in terms of weather and so many other things. And there's so many Latinos from all over the world. And I gave him the opportunity to get to spend more time with family members and learn more about the Dominican culture. So I believe that's really what fueled his relocation.
Oh,
And
I
then
think that's
school,
awesome.
he went to college there, but you can go to college anywhere.
Right? It
Yes.
sounds that you're glowing with pride with your young man, right?
Oh, I
Nico
am.
is the man.
Yes, oh, so much. And then he was just here visiting us about a week and a half ago, and we had the most wonderful time with him. And as I was saying earlier, just getting the opportunity to see all that we've poured into him and how responsible he is. And he's just doing a wonderful job adulting and the type of human being he is, the man he's growing into is just wonderful. He's thoughtful and caring and considerate, yet he knows how to set boundaries and he's ambitious and he knows that.
Kind of
uh,
sounds like his mother.
I
I don't
wonder.
know.
I wonder. Yes, absolutely. But we're very proud of him. He's a lot like myself and my husband. And my husband is a man that has so much character and integrity. And Nico has that same character and integrity. And that's something that I really prayed and hoped for in him. And I'm so glad he has it.
So how'd you meet your husband?
I actually through a friend of
Really?
mine. Yes, absolutely. A friend of mine attended a party and I was not able to go. And she came back telling me about this great guy she met. And I thought, oh, how wonderful for her. And then she told him he would be perfect for me. It took a while for us to meet up, but after about 6 months, we finally did. And it was really wonderful. We had a blind date, so it was great.
So did you know at the blind date that he was the guy?
Well, I knew this that I had met a lot of men and a lot of very nice men, but I said at the end of the evening, I said to myself, this is the kind of guy somebody marries but I wasn't sure if it would be me because, you know, I had met a lot of guys that seemed great and I just didn't know, but I knew he was the type of guy that that this is the kind of guy someone marries. And I had never said that about anyone else. And when my friend made me call her immediately after the date, and so I had to report to her and I told her,
Of
oh,
course
he's
you
the kind
did.
of, yes. And I told her, I said, he's the kind of guy someone marries. She goes, someone, that's the guy you're going to marry. So it was really nice.
Okay,
And
I love that girl no matter who she is.
oh,
What?
we're
Give
still
me her
close
name.
friends. Our name is Patricia, and we're still close friends to
Oh,
this day.
I can understand why, right?
Yes, yes.
Oh, that is such a great story.
Thank
6
you.
months before you actually met him, though, right?
It took 6 months. He traveled a lot,
Okay.
and he was she would plan something. Oh, let's have a dinner party, and then he said, "Oh, I'm going to Mexico tomorrow for 2 months." Then another time she said, "Oh, okay, we're going to plan another dinner party. I want you to meet this guy." And so she called him, and he was going to Australia for 2 months. I said he doesn't want to meet anyone, but he really was always going out of town the very next day for two
You thought he
months
was
on
avoiding you?
business. Yes, I said, oh, but when he did call, just by the message that he left on the machine, I knew he was definitely a genuine person.
Oh, that is awesome. That
Yeah,
is awesome.
yes.
So did he wine and dine you? Was it casual? Was it just fun?
You know what? We had dinner at a nice place in LA, which is now defunct like so many restaurants, but we had a great time. It was a nice restaurant and we had a wonderful time. And at the end of the date, he says, listen, let me walk you to your car. He said, first, I need to stop at my car and get something. So he stops at his car and he pulls something out. It's in a bag. And he says, don't open this until you get home. And I
He's a
said,
man of mystery,
yes, that really piqued my curiosity. So I didn't. I waited until I got home and I opened it up, and what it was a calendar that his company produced. And this is almost 30 years ago. So this is, you
right?
know, prior to AI generation, but it was all computer generated and it had all these different people. And under each thing was something different. For instance, it had somebody that had braids in their hair, a man with braids, but the braids were made out of chains. And it said, no person shall be in servitude to another.
Hmm.
And then it had another one where it was an image of an individual, and it had these two scales on his shoulder. And it talked about the scales of justice and how justice
Love
should be
that.
spent. It was really, and it was, I didn't know at the time. I assumed that these were models, and it wasn't until later that I learned that this was actually computer generated because this is what his company did. And
Wow.
so it's really fantastic.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. So you're a hardworking real estate woman, right?
Yes.
I'm not saying you're 24 and 7. You might be 23 and 7, but that's okay.
23
So
and 7 sounds good to me.
what got you into the fabulous world of real estate?
Well, you know, I have been in sales the majority of my life, actually since my 20s.
Right?
And this is a new season for me. I took time off of work to raise my son. But then once he returned, once he was old enough, it was time for me to find out something for myself. And now he's no longer in the home and he's an adult and living in another state. I think it's time for me. So a few years ago, I had gotten my real estate license many years ago, but several years back, I said, okay, it's time to make a change. And
Right?
so that's what I did. And I always loved real estate. Even when I was doing other sales jobs, I worked in pharmaceutical sales. I started in tech sales. And so but I always was interested in real estate and having a hand on real estate. I lived in the Bay Area for many years where real estate is much more expensive than it is here.
Yes.
And the areas are all so vastly different. They can be right next to each other, but each city has its own unique identity.
Hmm.
And so I really learned a lot by living there, but I had a job where I traveled a lot and it was just getting to be too much. So I relocated to LA. And And just when I did, I just loved, I would like saw the city again for the first time. That's how it felt. And just learning all the different pockets area, the Santa Clarita Valley, the Conejo Valley, the San Fernando Valley,
Right.
LA, Redondo Beach, everything. And I really loved it. And I always just saw people as they were getting their new home, their first home, their retirement home, their new downsized home, their new season in not life, the relocation, just everything. And I said, I want to be able to help people. I want to be able to help people with their dreams. And home ownership is still the American dream.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Absolutely.
And I'm so glad you kind of shared that with me about you getting into real estate because to me, it's a perfect fit for you,
Thank you.
right?
Yes, it
You know,
is.
and I kind of
Actually,
look at you as not just as a real estate agent, but kind of a role model and kind of a mentor. You always have that warm heart, that helping hand with people. So, there's a lot of new people in the market, right? In the real estate market who are trying something different.
yes.
What advice would you give a new agent in real estate, if you could be that guiding light?
Well,
What do you
first
think?
Well, first of all, I'm going to tell you, Jean, in the last couple of years, especially the last year, I've absolutely learned to encourage people to follow their dreams, find their purpose in life. And so I would first ask a person, is this your dream? Do you believe this is your purpose? And I think people can have multiple purposes and multiple dreams. So it's I'm not trying to pigeonhole anyone. So I would say, is this your dream? And then I would tell them, open your eyes, open your mind. Real estate is done so differently now. A lot of people are still employing some of the tools that have been around for years, tried and proven. And a lot of people are using new things. A lot of people are going to AI. And I would say, keep your pulse on the market, keep your pulse on the market. And I would remind the person too that they have to motivate themselves. It's not just you are helping people, but it is a business. It's not a job where someone is just paying you, giving you a paycheck. So it's your own business and you have to take it seriously. It's interesting when I did pharmaceutical sales, they used to always tell us, look at your territory like it's your own business and work it that way, meaning pour your heart and soul into it, right?
Right,
Give it everything you have. Let it be a
right.
representation of you and who you are and all your efforts. And so I did that. And I was always very successful. I was always the number one sales rep, one trips, what have you. And so I would tell people, take that same thing, that everything that you feel represents you and that you stand for and put it in that business. Put it in through building relationships with people and not just with prospective buyers, but build relationships with other realtors. That's one of the things I like about the exclusive academy because the reality is when you're coming to do deals, who are you doing deals with? The realtors, right? It's very
Exactly.
rarely that someone is representing the buyer and the seller. So I would have to say that what you need to do is learn to meet other people, learn to meet other vendors, people who are in title, people who are lenders, people in roofing, all these kinds of industries where people will ask you, "Do you know someone that can help me with this? Do you know some painters, contractors?" And always treat people. This is something my parents taught me years ago. Always treat every person with respect and dignity and honor, no matter who they are, what station they are in life, because you never know who's watching. And more importantly, everyone deserves to be treated the best and receive the best from you. So that's what I would tell a new mentor,
You know
a new
what? It's
mentee.
it's funny that you say that. I was reading a book this morning and it's by a CEO author and he was saying you really need to know what your purpose is in your business. And
Absolutely.
it's so funny just listening to what you were saying. I go, I have never heard the word purpose used as much as I have this morning. But
Mhm.
I think that is such a great thing that you shared with people is that they should know what the purpose in real estate is. What do they really want to accomplish? What is the big picture? And I love that. And I want to say thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Oh, absolutely. Yes,
Well,
because,
go
oh,
ahead.
I'm sorry. I was just going to say, once people learn their purpose, then it's easier to set goals.
Right. Yeah, because you get to know your vision, right? Of what
Absolutely,
you want to do.
absolutely.
You talked about being in this business for a while, and you being so successful in your past job in sales. Crazy market,
Right.
good, bad, ugly, and awesome. If you were going to talk to our viewers today about the real estate market, can you share with us your thoughts on the good, the bad, the ugly, and the awesome in real estate today and what they need to hear?
Well, absolutely. The very first thing I would say is never allow people to instill fear in you. Don't, worrying about the interest rates, worrying about the home prices increasing, worry about the home prices decreasing. I would say that those are kinds of things that make it difficult for people to make the right decision for themselves. If you have a goal, if you want to downsize and you want to relocate to a different state, you want to sell your home in California so you can relocate to Tennessee or Idaho or Texas or North Carolina, which is where so many people I seem to be headed, and Florida. That's right. Do it. Do it. Life is about taking chances, stepping out. Okay. Let's do that. Let's make it happen. If you
Mhm.
wait 2 years, and then the home prices have increased here, don't you think they're going to increase in the state you want to move to, or the other part of the city where you want to relocate? Of course they are. So don't worry about that. In terms of the interest rate, you can always refinance, right? I mean, we have refinanced our home several times to get a better interest rate, not to pull out money, but to get a better interest rate. But if you want to pull out money from your equity, I mean, that's fine as well. But my point is this: if we had waited, let's say, if we had waited till the interest rates dropped to, I think when we purchased our home, the interest rate was about 10% or 8%. So we would have missed out on home ownership all those years until the interest rate dropped down to, there are many people who got a low interest rate around the pandemic, and they're very concerned about that. But what if we had waited all that time? Then what? The home price would have been much more expensive, which it was, than we initially purchased. So I think that, no one can predict the future on their own, but it is great to make very educated decisions. I do believe in that. And that's what you want in a realtor. And that's what I would love to help lead and guide anyone, is to make a good educated decision. But don't hold back on your life and don't hold back on your dreams as a result of waiting. Because what are we going to do? Are we going to wait forever and let life bypass us? You never know what can happen tomorrow or the next day. And I do believe in hoping for hope for the present and for the future.
I love that. I love that. And thank you so much for sharing that with me.
Yes,
So you've got your feet wet in real estate. You're doing really great business. People love you. You're a great role model, but there might be a change in direction. So what do you think you're going to be doing differently the later part this year? Anything come to mind?
that I would be doing differently the
Yeah,
later part this
like,
year.
what do you think you're going to be doing differently in real estate?
Well, number one, I just switched to a new brokerage. I'm on a team, and our whole team just switched to a new brokerage called LPT.
Really?
Yes, LPT, which has only been around for a short time. We're a cloud-based brokerage, but we're making excellent strides. It started in Florida and on the East Coast, but now we're coming into California. So I really what I and we're it's an opportunity for other realtors, other agents to get in, and teams and brokers to get in on the ground floor, to be able to receive stock options and then have multiple streams of incomes, passive income, as a result of being able to recruit and have your transactions really work for you to build equity. And it's really wonderful. And so I think probably what I'm going to focus on, and it's just so many wonderful things. They have so many great marketing tools for you at minimal cost, and just so many things that they're going to do. Our CEO, his name is Robert Palmer. He's super excited about it. And there's just so many great things happening with it. So I see myself in the remainder of this year probably trying to really open up that opportunity to other agents that I know, and seeing really all that LPT has to offer me.
So your goal is to educate them on your new brokerage to see if it's a right fit for them.
Absolutely, because we're only interested in people that want to make the move because it's right for them, and I don't believe in forcing people either way. When we present the information, see what works for them, and if it's right, then let them come aboard. But it's a great opportunity. So many agents, my whole team, it's about 35 to 45 of us, and
Wow.
everyone is really ecstatic about this opportunity. There are other teams throughout the Los Angeles area and San Diego and Northern California who are joining forces, joining in with LPT, and everyone is super excited. Just everything they have for us in terms of education, just and more is just really wonderful. And it's nice to be with a company that has a great vision and just a breath of fresh air.
And I think that is the key word there is vision. Because, if you have a strong leader like Robert and he has a strong vision, I could see why people just want to follow in his footsteps,
Oh,
right?
absolutely. Absolutely. You're so right, Gene.
It's everything that I've been reading lately about change and positive change. I really enjoy taking time out of my day to kind of reflect on the my good, bad, and ugly and awesome in my business. And everything to me right now is just moving forward in such a great way. Like having you part of my team with the Exclusive Academy. I'm so blessed to have you as being part of my organization. You have no idea.
Yes, well, I'm very fortunate, and I really like all that you're doing and how you're trying to bring people together and your vision. Talking about this is your purpose, right?
Right.
Bringing people together, and you have and once you have that vision, you were able to that purpose. You were able to set goals, which is really wonderful. And I know you have great goals for this organization. The fact that you are trying to take this nationwide at some point is just really wonderful. But what you're just doing here in Southern California, uniting people from so many areas, Lancaster, Palmdale, Porter Ranch, San Fernando Valley, Encino, I think is absolutely wonderful. And I'm very fortunate to get in on the ground level, so to speak, even though you've been established for a while. But before you launch nationally and who knows, internationally. And I love that. And you have, and not only that, you've built a legacy company that your sons will take over one day. So that's really wonderful.
Well, thank you. Thank you for that. It warms my heart. You've got a lot of strengths in this business. I mean, not just sales, but you have a really great sales background. And I think that's why you've climbed the ladder of success so eloquently. Are there any other strengths that you might think that you have, or that you have, that you want to share with our viewers today? I want
Yes,
them to know the real you.
the real me. Okay, well, great. Well, really one of the strengths I have is family. I hope I don't get emotional, but I'm really blessed to have come from a really, really wonderful family. I mean, really great family. My parents, my grandparents, on my maternal and paternal sides of my family. I'm just so fortunate. A wonderful sister, and who has wonderful children, my wonderful son and husband. I'm very fortunate. And family, people don't understand how much family really helps us to elevate in life. I think sometimes it's taken for granted. And so I'm very fortunate to have the foundation of a wonderful parents, great childhood. My parents were married, I think, 66 years before my
That's
dad
amazing.
passed. And then, yes, and then my mom passed about a year and a half after. And they met in college. Can you believe that? They married and they eloped. They married at 8. My mom was 18, my dad was 20. So that's taught me a lot about commitment. And so I know a great deal about commitment. And I think that's part of the reason why it's made it very easy for me to be committed in my marriage. My sister has been married 40 some odd years. And I think that really helped her as well. She and her husband met in law school. And so, it's just helped is that's so important. And now we've been able to pass that along, my sister and I, to our families, to our children, the importance of commitment. That sometimes it's very easy to look and when things are going well and everyone's happy and excited. But when they're not going well, you have to learn how to weather the storm. You have to learn how to navigate through the challenges of life, business, all of that. And so I think it's helped me to remain very steady and very steadfast. And I appreciate that wonderful childhood my parents provided for me.
Well, I'm glad that you shared that with us because I know you did it with a very warm, open heart, and I'm glad that you did that. Um, Talking about networking, can you share with buyers and sellers why networking is so important in real estate?
Oh gosh, well, believe it or not, networking is important in life. And we all network, whether we realize it or not. If it's with the other parents to help with the drop off, if it's with other parents to provide snacks at soccer games or what have you, that's all networking, right? But we don't always realize what we're doing in our everyday life. We don't know how to take those rich components and add them into business. But networking is essential because, like I said, this is not a lone profession. I still have to, okay, let's say, Jean, you're my buyer. So you found a home that you like, and we're so great. And now I have to go negotiate that price with another salesperson because another agent, because I am not representing the seller. So networking is really important because hopefully I'm going to come across a person that I've spent some time with. And if I haven't, then I have to learn how to network and navigate with them there. They can make the transition process difficult. Okay, well, now we've got to talk to title, and that's really important. And before that, we have to talk to lending because we need to get your mortgage. And then we need to have someone come and take a look, and then that inspector to make sure that that home is exactly what you want. So it's just so many components, so many different people that pass through, which is it's amazing. But not only that, networking, it helps my business. It helps me as an agent. It helps me be able to sell myself to prospective buyers and sellers. But not only that, but to others. I've networked all my life. I mean, I've always been a very social and outgoing person. And so networking is something that I've always done. And I've learned how to look and see the things that I think are just ordinary and take for granted. Like I mentioned, that soccer mom who may not realize she's networking when she's, giving the snacks to different people and finding out. But I've learned that, and people want to be seen. People want to be seen and heard and taken seriously. So networking it's crucial.
I love that. Love that. And this week, my dear, you are being honored by our city because of your dedication to your business, your clients, the consumer, and the community. How does that make you feel?
Oh my gosh, that's such a tremendous honor. Jim, why are you wanting me to cry on camera? That's
Well,
what
I
I want to
don't.
know.
I don't.
Why are you wanting me to cry on camera?
That is not my purpose.
It's ecstatic, it's overwhelming, it's humbling. I mean, it's just really wonderful. And I'm so grateful. I'm so appreciative. I'm so blessed. And that's how I feel. I'm overwhelmed with joy.
Well, thank you. And you know what? There's different business groups out there, but when I put this organization together, it was about I wanted to celebrate people on the back side of the business card instead of the front side of the business card. Because there's real estate agents and they're good at what they do, and it's about production or making money or whatever. But the thing that I really wanted in the organization that I put together were people who should be honored because it's about their clients. It's about the community. It's about the consumer. You know, Business is one thing, but there's so many people that just don't look at real estate the way that you and I look at real estate. And that's why I hunted you down like the man I wanted to be, because I
Yeah.
knew who you are and what you're all about. And you deserve the honors and the accolades because you are great at what you do. Without a doubt.
Well,
Without a
thank
doubt.
you. Thank you. I appreciate and accept that compliment.
Thank you. And you know what? You've got good mentors in your life. And we've talked about this before the show. You know, Mentors in family, mentors in business. Would you like to share with us who your mentors are? I would love for you to give those shout outs.
Oh, sure, absolutely.
Let's talk
Well,
like let's talk about family first, right?
okay, well, right. Well, I'm very fortunate because I was able to have mentors within my home. Sometimes people are not able to do that for various reasons, and it's not a bad thing or necessarily, but my parents were educators, and so education was very important to them, and they didn't believe in just education in terms of the academics, but in everything. If you want to try to learn something, you want to do something different, look, you have to learn it, right? Spend time with it, learn how to master something. And so that helped as well. And I mentioned earlier about treating people a particular way, treating them right. I learned that from my parents, and that was, great mentorship. And my parents, though I worked in the private sector, my parents worked in education. But my mom, she taught business classes, and one of the things, so she learned a lot about corporate the corporate world. She had to enable to in order to teach her students because her background had been education. So she really spent a lot of time talking to different people and what have you. And so I learned a lot from that. I learned it was just a part of my home, so it made sense. And then I've had many mentors in the business world, oftentimes bosses. Now I'm in real estate. I started out with a good friend who's a broker, and he's taught me a lot of information, and that's been really helpful. And now I'm on a great team. I'm on a team. It's called the Serene Team. My leader, his name is Kyle Draper, and he's become a mentor to me. He's teaching me so many facets that I didn't learn before, not because people didn't have the knowledge to teach me, but sometimes we have to learn when we're ready to receive it. We're at different stations in life, different stages, and so I'm at a point right now where I'm learning how to elevate my business and really elevate it. And so I've got a great mentor for that. He has wonderful mentors. And so I'm really excited about not just what the future holds, but what the present holds.
Love that. I love that. And thank you so much for sharing that with us. I know we're almost out of time, but any last thoughts you want to share with our viewers today?
My last things would be number one is thank you for this opportunity and this honor to be able to talk with you today. It's just really wonderful. And I really want to encourage people that no matter where you are in life, no matter how old, how young, how in between, how crazy life is for you, just sit down and take a moment and start thinking about what your purpose is, what you feel is your purpose for right now, not necessarily the future, but just for right now. And start dreaming and hoping, and you just close your eyes and sit down. And if you have to take a little pen and write out things, you can start with just 5 minutes a day and just write out. Or for me, I don't write; I auto dictate everything to my phone. I can't stand taking the time to write, but just whatever's on your mind. I mean, it could be, I sometimes I sit down and I'm thinking, okay, what's on my mind? I love the hearing the birds sing in the morning. I love it. It just puts me in such a happy place. Or sometimes I'll put down, I love being at the ocean. Okay, well, now you know what I think later on, though some of those things translate into, for me, especially, one day I want to live at the ocean or live near it. But it doesn't really matter. Just start with little things, and then things will become bigger. You'll get used to doing this, and you'll start finding ways to create something that's new for you because you're not too old and you're not too young and you're not just in between. Especially, I want to say to those, because I am 23 and what did you say, three quarters? So I am 23 and three quarters. So there are other people like me that are 23 and three quarters. We've been on this planet for a while, but the best is yet to come.
Without a doubt. And this is why I had you as my celebrity of the day. But you're more than a celebrity. You are such a great leader at what you do. And once again, I am so happy that you and I got to spend some quality time today. And I'm looking forward to seeing you on Wednesday. It's going to be a great honors tribute and so well deserved. But you deserve it, my friend. And I just wanted to say thank you again for being on my program. And boys and girls, I'm going to see you guys next week. I'm going to see you next week. But Simone, thank you again for being on the program. I appreciate you more than you know.
Thank you, Jean. I appreciate it. It's been an absolute honor to be here and a pleasure.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Guys, have a great day, and I will see you soon. Talk to you later. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Hey, everybody, it's Scott the Mortgage Doc coming to you from the exclusive Academy for Real Estate Professionals. Today's spotlight races through 7 standout listings and the agents who make them shine, so let's dive in. Elgin Walker, 41233 Almond Ave in Palmdale, California, 93551. This is the Fireside Haven. It is a 4-bedroom, 3-bath. Living square feet on this one is 2,815 square feet. Listing is at 739,777. An open concept kitchen pours into the family room, so gatherings flow as easily as the conversation. Host holiday feast in the elegant formal dining room under a soft candlelight. 3 fireplaces spread cozy vibes from foyer to primary lounge, perfect for desert winters. The expansive primary suite tucks in a private sitting nook for reading or morning meditation. Outside, a generous backyard and a 3-car garage add space for play, projects, and parking. Elgin Walker has this gem ready for quick action. All right, next we have Lorena Chinquilo. This is at 2701 Juniper Drive in Palmdale, California, 93550. This one is I call the Smart Cozy Starter. This is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. Living square feet on this one is 1,190 square feet. Listing prices at $430,000. This mature landscaping welcomes you home without the weekend yard work. Step inside to a living room that funnels into a dining area warmed by a brick fireplace. Stainless steel appliances and app-controlled recessed lights bring tech swagger to the kitchen. The primary bedroom feels like a calm retreat after a long Antelope Valley days. Updated baths, indoor laundry, and party-sized backyard check every first home wish list box. Lorena Chinguilo is ready to open the door for you. All right. Paula Stafford, we have a listing at 45749 West 21st Street, West Lancaster, California, 93536. This is the Cul-de-sac Retreat, a 4-bedroom, 3-bath. Living square feet on this one is 2,640 square feet. List price is $555,000. This is tucked in a quiet cul-de-sac with no weird neighbors, privacy found. Commuters rejoice, got freeway access, shops, and eats sit just minutes away. Rock face fireplace anchors a flowing living room combo set atop sleek, solid flooring. Kitchen shows off walnut butcher block counters, island ceiling, and storage for days. Solar with battery backup, aluminum wood patio, plus a grand loft elevate lifestyle and savings alike. Paula Stafford invites you to feel the calm for yourself. All right, and we have Linda Ham with a listing at 29251 Fountainwood Street in Agoura Hills, California, 91301. It is the Agoura Oasis. It is a 4-bedroom, 4-bath. Living square feet on this one is 3,327 square feet. This is a listing at $2.2 million. Generous rooms give every family member breathing room or the perfect party flow. Multiple living areas flex for movie marathons or elegant soirees. Cook like a chef in the well-equipped kitchen, then serve poolside. Main level bed and bath wing is ideal for guests, in-laws, or a private office. Dive into the resort-style pool and spa, moments from award-winning schools and trailheads. Linda Haim has the keys to this luxury lease. All right. And then we have Casey Shine with a listing at 28238 Alton Way in Castaic, California, 91384. This is the Solar Cheek remodel. This is a 4-bedroom, 3-bath. Living square feet on this one is 2,247 square feet. Listing at $875,000. Paid off solar panels. Start saving you money on day 1. Fresh floors, paint, fixtures, and quartz dressed kitchen shout like new. The open plan glides past powder and laundry rooms to 4 upstairs retreats. Primary suite pampers with jetted tub, a walk-in shower, and lofty ceilings. No rear neighbors, gazebo, and Hasley Hills convenience make the backyard an entertainer's dream. Casey Shine can make your Castaic move seamless. All right. And now we have Charlie Gonzalez with a listing at 37338 Salem Court in Palmdale, California, 93550. This one I'm calling the Light and Lofty. This is a 3-bedroom, 3-bath. Living square feet on this one is 1,452 square feet for a listing price at $424,870. You've got soaring ceilings and marble tiled entry bathe the home in natural glow. Gather in the family room beside a stylish fireplace after weekday commutes. Chef it up in the sleek electric cooktop with stainless steel hood and built-in oven. Warm wood floors tie every room together with timeless elegance. A vast backyard begs for a garden pool or a future ADU. Your canvas awaits. Charlie Gonzalez is ready when inspiration strikes. Mary Howard has a lot land on Avenue D, Vic Street, unit number 93 in Lancaster, California, 93535. This is the Redland Acres. This is a lot land at $5,500 for 1.31 acres of blank slate countryside farm, build or both. County permits are straightforward, so bring your plans and break ground, ideal for horses, crops, or an off-grid homestead and a budding rural community. Neighbors already cultivate produce, sharing tips over sunset fences. Find serenity minutes from Lancaster's shops while embracing a sustainable lifestyle. Mary Howard can map out your Agra dream today. All right. Great listing stories turn square footage into vivid dreams. And that's what we deliver every week. So join me, the Mortgage Doc, with the exclusive Academy for Real Estate Professionals next time for the more market-moving insights and agent shoutouts. Until then, keep those offers sharp and those narratives sharper. Bye, everybody.